How many times have you decided, it's time to change my life, followed by setting a new goal in your life and beginning the journey to achieving it? But after a few days or week, that energy is all but gone, and you are exhausted. Between continuing to feel exhausted or return to a life of easy comforts, the latter seems much more appealing. But why do we do this, and why is burnout so common? I'm going to teach you how to overcome burnout so all of your visions can come true. But first, we need to understand a critical piece of information on why this happens. Everything with your new habits began with motivation. Motivation is a burst of energy and emotion in you when you have a vision for something you could do to improve your life. When we see or feel something that brings us motivation, our body provides us with an excess of extra energy, and this energy is what we can then use to break our habits and start trying something new. This energy can last for days or even weeks, but the problem is that the motivation is fleeting and it will not last. After a certain point, this extra energy is going to be gone. And if you set up your routines around that goal using all of that extra energy, then you suddenly lose it, the exhaustion will begin to kick in and you will inevitably fail. But today, we are discussing how to overcome this so you can still have energy to do what you need to do. We will be learning about the staples of successful routine changes and how to keep going on your task without exhaustion taking you over. With those tricks in place, we will discuss how to switch to discipline from motivation to ensure you see the goal through. And using that, we can visualize a roadmap to attaining completion of your routine or goal using the previous steps to ensure you don't give up on what you want at any point. Let's start with the key to the problem of giving up on goals too early, the motivation issue. When we get that excited burst of energy from our motivation of changing our life or doing something new, it completely dominates our perception of life. Depending on how much we want it, we might begin using up all our free time or taking time away from other routines in our life to make this goal or routine happen. The problem is that anytime we do something new or in the unknown, it is a lot of energy for our brain to process. This works great when we have that initial motivation boost of energy, but when it fades away, if we are using more energy than we have in a given day, the overexertion of energy will cause exhaustion. The exhaustion is the key to why we fail. There are ways to give yourself more energy in life. Here are a few if you wanted to pause and take notes, but this is not what the video is about. Our goal for today is to learn to make the habits and routines work with your current level of energy. As much as hustle gurus might want you to believe, you do need to have proper rest to do your best work. If you were doing great at a new thing but now are feeling exhausted a few weeks later, you need to dial it back. This is usually from doing the new thing for shorter bursts of time and giving yourself more time to relax, unwind, or just get your mind away from doing that activity. Your goal should be to find a perfect balance where you can do enough work to reach a point of beginning to feel exhausted, but then stop the activity for the day, and by the time you sleep and regain your energy, you are ready to do it all over again. If you wake up and still feel exhausted from the work you were doing yesterday, then you are not recovering enough and need to take this as a sign to give yourself more recovery time. Because if you wake up every morning feeling like this, the exhaustion will compound more and more, until eventually you completely hate what you are doing and stop it completely. Reaching your goal is a marathon, not a sprint, and the person that can work 1 hour a day for years is going to ultimately beat the person who worked 8 hours a day for 3 months. Once you have solved the problem of not overdoing your energy levels once your motivation comes down, we must then learn the concept of what you need to switch to so you can complete or realize your goal. This is discipline. Discipline is the act of setting a rule or code that you must follow in your life, regardless of how you feel. This is a big difference between motivation, as motivation is doing action as a result of emotions and energy you are feeling inside. Discipline is the opposite. It's being able to take action even if you don't feel anything inside. If you want to seriously reach your goal, you will be unable to if you cannot commit to discipline. However, there is a way to use emotion to make discipline easier. Write down your end goal and hang it somewhere you can see it. When you see your end goal, I want you to dream of what your life is going to be like when you make it there, and really live in this daydream and feel how good it is. Then, when you return to wake in reality, you should actually have some small supplies of motivation reminding you why you are doing the thing. Even if they don't supply a big energy boost, these feelings will serve as a reminder for why you are committing to doing something new for a long period of time, making the act of continuing it daily easy. At the end of the day, though, discipline is a hard, emotionless decision. It is the statement of, I need to do this to reach where I need to be, therefore I will not stop until I reach where I need to be. You should always be proud of yourself for having discipline in your life that you stick to, as it's a level of self-love for evolving yourself and believing in yourself to become something better. If you make your goal an energy-efficient task, your discipline will not fail you if you truly want to reach your ideal state. You can do any goal over any period of time, even years, as long as you conquer these two elements. 1. Never use more energy than you have, and you cannot burn yourself out from overexhausting yourself. And 2, use discipline to force yourself to work on that task daily or weekly on a planned schedule. If your discipline is strong enough and you are not overly exhausting yourself, there is zero reason why you should fail or not make it to realization of your task or goal. Since all that is left is actually finishing the work, no matter how long it takes, you should start celebrating small victories or milestones. I would set up a timeline of progress in your journey to completion, so when you reach a step the old you couldn't have possibly done, and yet you aren't at the finish line yet, you can pat yourself on the back and celebrate. Get yourself a nice meal, go out for the night, make yourself feel good about your progress. And then after the celebrating is complete, let your discipline take back over and keep up the daily progress to reaching the next milestone. Until one day, your goal will finally be realized and you will feel the greatest burst of energy in your entire life by completing the hard thing you set out to do. Not burning out is easy when you don't overallocate your energy and make the thing you need to do a disciplined routine. So if you haven't figured either of these out, start making a plan now on how to adjust these processes in your life. Because once you solve it, nothing will stop you from becoming what you are working to become. You are incredible, and you will make it. Please comment below if you have any questions, stories, or anything related to this topic you want to share. If this helped you out and you want to support the channel, liking and subscribing helps me a lot. Also, if you would like exclusive deeper insights into every video's topic, and to be immortalized into every video's credits, you can subscribe to my Patreon to help me out even further. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch this.